That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And tonight we're here for some reason to talk about the 2019 release, The Intruder, which opened last May and is now about to debut on Blu-ray at the end of the month, July 30th.
Yeah, so why are we reviewing this? No. We saw it.
It's coming out on Blu-ray, and for some reason we've seen it twice.
Yeah, we saw it 3 months ago?
May.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just watched it again.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it on a rewatch?
Worse.
Worse. I was more amused. It's bad.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. The only good thing about the film is Dennis Quaid.
Yeah,
he gives a perfectly over-the-top performance.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very entertaining and giggle-worthy. But...
So the film stars Dennis Quaid, Michael Ealy, and Meagan not so good.
Meagan not so good, but getting better.
But getting better. Her eyebrows are nice.
Yeah, the eyebrows are good. The hair was...
So Michael Ealy and Meagan are Scott and Annie. They are a married couple who, thanks to a recent, great job at work, he can afford to buy a big house in Napa Valley, which is like a 3-hour commute for him for work. But they choose to buy this enormous...
This enormous, just palatial estate named Foxglove.
Foxglove from Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, yes.
And what is foxglove?
It's a poisonous flower.
Poisonous flower.
That used to be, it's mentioned, it's a motif in the film because it was once all over this valley and not here any longer, which I read as a metaphor for whiteness.
Okay.
Poison.
So, sure. So they purchased the home from Dennis Quaid. He tells them he's moving to Florida and he'll be out of their hair shortly, but he's not.
No.
He becomes fixated on
Annie,
Meagan Good, and is stalking her.
Basically, and throwing a monkey wrench in their already kind of dysfunctional relationship.
It kind of made me feel like a Fatal Attraction type.
Yeah, it's very and I think was satisfying something I craved was like those 90s, late 80s and early 90s adult thrillers that were, all starring white people in the lead roles. So I think maybe that was the appeal here. Because there's that Michael Ealy film from 2015, remember The Perfect Guy, with Sanaa Lathan and Morris Chestnut?
Kind of, no, yes.
Which it was kind of in a similar vein, was not very good, but in that kind of steamy adults arena that we rarely see.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, seeing the cast and understanding the premise made me want to see the film originally.
Yeah.
But it was made very quick, very early on that this would not be a good film. Michael and Meagan seemed like they signed up for this movie, and once they got on set, were just anxious for it to be over. They just seem really flat and bored. Their performances are... they're giving 30%.
Well,
the story doesn't really make sense.
The story doesn't make sense. To be fair, the screenplay is not good.
No, it's not. So Annie immediately sort of takes a liking to Charlie, Dennis Quaid's character, for reasons that are just inexplicable. Even after her husband tells her leave this man alone, she entertains him, literally entertains him. Charlie, Dennis Quaid, becomes fixated with Meagan Good's character and then starts to act out violently against her husband, Scott. He also acts violently towards Scott's friend, played by Joseph Sikora from Power.
Yeah.
Who looks like... I don't care for that actor to begin with, but I think he looks like the Michael Myers mask from Halloween. Who's playing this douchey character.
If he worked out.
Yeah, if he worked out. It had slick back hair.
Yeah.
But Dennis Quaid is fixated on Meagan, fixated on the house.
He's obsessed with the house.
Yeah.
There's all this there's a Thanksgiving dinner scene which is ridiculous about how houses have spirits and stuff like that.
I think also maybe had the screenplay focus more on one or the other, like his fixation on Annie or the house, but both make it seem kind of like extra crazy in a way that just makes the story even more ludicrous.
Okay, but so it was written by the man who scripted Lakeview Terrace with Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
And Obsessed with
Fiance.
Oh wow. And remember Nurse 3D?
Oh, with Paz de la
Huerta, yeah.
I recall that being fun.
That was funny, but mostly because of her.
Sure. And I think he probably, I mean, yeah, the over-the-top performance from Dennis Quaid also is the only redeeming quality of this film.
But it's from the director of Meet the Blacks, that spoof on The Purge with...
Marlon Wayans?
No, not Marlon Wayans.
Or Mike Epps.
Mike Epps.
Oh.
And then Traffic with a K with Paula Patton, which you saw and I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so he's getting there.
He's getting there.
Very slowly. Mm-hmm. What's his name?
Deon Taylor.
Okay, Deon, you're getting there. But, so, the movie culminates with a showdown between all three of them, which is interesting and very like anticlimactic.
Very predictable. There is a big twist in the
film. There is a twist, which is that
Oh, you can say it.
We spoil movies.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah,
you forgot. So the twist is Dennis Quaid's character is not moving away to go to Florida like he says. He actually lives in the house. Mm-hmm. So the entire time that Annie and Scott have been in this house, Charlie's been living in the attic or the basement.
Very phone call from a stranger.
No, he's in the basement.
Yeah,
it's an interesting setup because he accesses his living space through the linen closet on an upper level. But then when Annie mistakenly goes in there, she plummets quite far.
Yeah, and follows the passageway that leads outside to
a shed that's separate from the house. Yeah. So that's interesting. Well, I guess it makes sense. He probably accesses it from the shed, so no one knows.
Yeah.
But he's also able to gain access to the house. So that makes sense. But yeah, so the entire time Charlie's living in the house, which is creepy, but because everything is so ridiculous, there are just so many ridiculous points to this film that once we find that out, it just seems like, well,
and also it does kind of give it away because they make poor Dennis Quaid do this. Like, we need a crazy montage of you making weird
faces. That's right. So, like, in the second act...
Yeah, like
we see him, like, he's supposed to be in his hotel room, but it looks... Because I think even when we saw it in the theater, I figured it out, because that's clearly not a hotel room. He's clearly in, like, some kind of dungeon or basement. So, it's pretty clear right away he's not where he says he is. And then it ends with him getting killed. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just a really stupid story.
So I think the racial politics have earned it comparisons to Get Out, which are
so on the cover of the DVD box, someone says, Kate, what's her name?
Katie Walsh.
Katie Walsh
is a lovely person. And sure. I believe, I haven't read a review, it's taken out of context because this movie was not well reviewed.
Well, the quote that was taken out of context is a reverse Get Out.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. You extracted some things about deer and white people.
The deer are the slaughter of deer and the population that needs to be controlled are as a metaphor in Get Out, and we are introduced to Dennis Quaid by him shooting a deer right in front of them.
You're being very generous.
I'm not saying, I don't think that...
No, you're not saying it, but I mean, you're finding something, which you should be, but this movie's not sophisticated enough.
It is definitely not, but, on a second watch, like, there were things that are like, I can see why...
Sure.
That's on people's minds, but the soundtrack.
Oh, so, yeah, we need to wrap this up. It's not worth more than a few minutes. So the soundtrack is terrible. It's very urban, like... unnecessarily urban. This couple does not read as urban at all. He's like a creative director for a marketing firm in San Francisco. They buy this estate in Napa Valley. She drives a Prius. He drives a G-Wagon. Oh, okay. So anyway, the music doesn't match. It's very like C-grade R&B hip hop. like it put the subtitles on so you can read the lyrics of these songs.
Oh yeah.
The other thing I want to complain about is Meagan Good's clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she wears exposes her like décolletage or her cleavage. She has like her back exposed in many scenes.
Like lots of half outfits.
Yeah, literally half outfits. I can't tell what the weather's like. I can't tell if she's going to church or like a track meet, as Godspeed Rule says. So yeah, she's styled ridiculously. Even their choice to move to Napa Valley seems ridiculous.
They are very whitewashed. There's one point where Michael Ealy picks up the phone and calls the Napa Valley police to ask for a restraining order. Like,
yeah, their behavior doesn't match the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's
because they're not. Michael Ealy is quite soft up until the very end. Because there's a subplot about him being afraid of guns because his brother was shot. So the fact that he ends up shooting Charlie in the hand is supposed to be climactic. But yeah, this movie is like bad gumbo. Just
it is. There are some more similarities to Greta with Isabelle Huppert,
which is a far better movie.
It is a far better.
Isabelle gives a much more restrained, ridiculous performance.
Yes.
So that movie is leaps and bounds better. I would recommend seeing it.
But like as far as like this person like obsessed with a central character, and there's also a restraining order scene in that too, where those girls.
Oh sure. The only thing good about this movie, besides the performance from Dennis Quaid, is that I hope that he gets cast in more roles similar to this, because I don't know. He was giving me Nicolas Cage vibes.
Oh, he was, yeah. He was,
which I really like. So, you know, when you hire Dennis Quaid, you know what you're getting, and people should hire him because he was excellent. But yeah, so out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
1. There's so many dumb things, like when they come home from getting ice cream. I think that waitress in that restaurant was supposed to be white for all the like swirl conversation, and because of like the Meagan Good Dennis Quaid sexual tension.
That's a good point. There is a director's commentary, so this movie is not worth me sitting for another 90 minutes to listen to him talk, but that's a good point. I wonder if maybe they felt like, or he felt that this couple is so whitewashed that adding that extra.
I think there was something trying there.
I think maybe even the soundtrack was sort of a second thought to me.
So like maybe
because who does this movie appeal to? Dennis Quaid fans? Are there Michael Ealy, Meagan Good fans? Because they're very like late 90s. So I don't know who.
Can we touch on the texting as infidelity?
There's another subplot where basically the fact that Scott texts Annie to say he's going to be late equates to him cheating on her because he cheated on her previously.
The last time he texted
her. It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
And when they come home from that ice cream, he's like, "Did you turn the TV off? Because I left it on."
Oh, they're just this isn't even worth explaining. There are just so many stupid moments in this movie, and it's not bad enough to be good.
No.
And Dennis Quaid really is the only. Maybe just fast forward to the parts where he's on screen, because he's also very GIF worthy.
Oh yeah, I want a clip of the end when he's screaming, "You don't deserve foxglove."
Yeah, there are a lot of stills or potential stills of him making these amazing faces that look like he just had a root canal and has cotton balls stuck in his cheeks that are really worth the effort. But other than that, I would give this film like a 1.5. And the half is for Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
The 1 is the reason.
He earned his paycheck. But yeah. Sorry, Deon Taylor.
Yeah, sorry about it.
Is he black?
Yeah.
Oh. Do better, brother. Do better, be better. Try harder.
Wait. He does have a new movie coming out that looks really good called Black and Blue with Naomie Harris.
Who's Naomie Harris?
The mother from Moonlight and Moneypenny from the last few Bond movies.
Not sure about that.
The crackhead mom in Moonlight.
What's the movie called again?
The new one?
Yes.
Black and Blue.
I will see Black and Blue because I feel like Deon.
You remember the mom from Moonlight?
No.
We just talked about that.
I don't remember. Moonlight's a very good movie. I do recommend that. But
she was Oscar nominated.
What?
Yeah, the crackhead mom in Moonlight.
The only woman I remember in Moonlight is Janelle Monae. Yeah.
I know.
Sorry.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.